Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you how to get Dark Aether in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Getting this camo is one heck of a grind, so I'm going to talk about how long it's going to take you to do that, just to get that out of the way. To unlock Dark Aether, you need to unlock gold for quite a few of the weapons. In fact, there are 28 in total that you're going to need to unlock the gold camo for in Cold War Zombies. You need to get gold for 5 assault rifles, 5 submachine guns, 4 tactical rifles, 3 LMGs, 3 snipers, 3 pistols, 2 shotguns, 2 launchers, 1 melee weapon, and 1 special weapon. Now, me personally, when I unlocked Dark Aether, I did it for all of the weapons that the game launched with. I am about 99.9% certain that the DLC weapons will also count toward this challenge. So, for example, for the SMGs, if you didn't want to use the KSP and you instead wanted to use the MAC-10 and get that gold, I'm pretty sure that's going to count for you for the Diamond Camo and for Dark Aether as well. At least I know that's how it works with the regular DM Ultra Camo for multiplayer. So if anyone finds out that that's not true, please leave a comment down below so everyone else watching this video will know that. The grind comes in because it takes about 2 to 3 hours per gun to get it gold. Now, I said there were 28 weapons, so if you average around 2.5 hours per gun, that's going to end up with about 70 hours in-game time in order to complete this challenge. So you're looking at about 3 days played time in order to unlock Dark Aether. Now, are you still with me, or did I lose you at that 3 days played time in order to unlock the challenge? Yeah, it's a little bit of a grind, like I said, but luckily for all of us, the Zombies mode this year is really good, it's a ton of fun, and I really enjoyed grinding for this camo. It's worth mentioning that when the game first came out, there were a couple of glitches to get Dark Aether a lot faster, but we're not going to talk about any of those on this channel because we want to earn things legitimately. If you came here hoping for a quick fix glitch way to get Dark Aether, then I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're in the wrong place. When I was on my camo grind, I found a spreadsheet that you can use, and I'm going to have a link to that down below. Huge shout out to Reddit user the Boogie for putting this thing together for us. And it comes in really useful in Zombies, even more so than multiplayer, because in Zombies you have the mystery box, you might grab a weapon from that and say, well geez, I don't know where I am in my camo progression for this. But if you're tracking it in the spreadsheet, that becomes really easy. You can just pause your game if you're in solos, and check your spreadsheet. Of course, you don't have to use the spreadsheet if you don't want to. That's for the truly organized and true nerds out there like me. You could just start on the first weapon and work your way through all the challenges. Speaking of which, let's go through these challenges real quick. For most of the weapons, you're going to need 2,500 zombie eliminations, 2,500 critical hits, 2,500 pack-a-punch kills, 15 elite eliminations, 10 kills rapidly 10 times, 3 or more critical hits rapidly 25 times, and 20 or more consecutive kills without getting hit 10 different times. That sounds like a lot, it sounds really confusing, but really just play the game and you'll unlock most of these just by playing. The big one here to focus on is the critical hit kill. What exactly is a critical hit kill in Call of Duty Cold War Zombies? Well, it's a headshot. I don't know why they didn't just call it headshots, but that's what we've got here. And it's nice that that's one of the challenges because you want to be going for headshots anyway because you do get bonus points whenever you kill a zombie with a headshot. A normal zombie elimination is good for 90 points, and a headshot's good for 115 points. So you're getting 25 bonus points for every headshot that you land. And if you're building up zombie trains, turning around and killing them, you're going to get those 10 rapid kills, those 3+ critical hit kills, and those 20 consecutive kills without dying, without even thinking about it, so don't worry about those. And obviously if you need 2,500 pack-a-punch kills and 2,500 headshots, you're going to be getting 2,500 kills, so that one's kind of an easy one as well. So really that just leaves us with trying to get as many headshots as quickly as possible and killing 15 elite enemies. On the map D Machine, the megatons count as elite enemies. Most of you have probably already played this by now, but the way the megatons work is they spawn in as a large megaton. You have to split that megaton, and then in the 2 smaller halves you have to kill each of those halves. Once you kill both of the halves, that counts as 1 elite elimination. The megatons start spawning in around 8 or 9 depending on when you turn on the power, and you'll get a couple of megatons every few rounds depending on how many players are in the game. For the Firebase Z map, when it first launched, the Mimics and the Manglers did not count toward the elite camo, but that's since been fixed. So I would strongly recommend playing Firebase Z if you're going to go for these elite eliminations, because the Mimics and the Manglers are a lot easier to kill than the Megatons, more of them spawn, and you're just going to complete this challenge a whole lot faster. In fact, when I was making this guide, I had my MAC-10 out and ready to go. I had 0 zombie kills with it when I started, and by round 18 I had already finished all 15 elite eliminations that I needed. The camo unlocks for the launchers and the melee weapons are a little bit different. For the launchers, you need to get double kills rapidly and kill 5 or more enemies with a single rocket. And for the melee weapons, you're going to need to get kills against enemies affected by Frost Blast, Ring of Fire, or Aether Shroud. In addition to that, you're going to have to get 50 kills against enemies who are disoriented by a stun grenade, a monkey bomb, or a decoy. None of those are very difficult, they're just time consuming and you have to know to do them. So that's going to cover just about everything except for the headshots. Now when you're getting headshots, obviously you want to aim for the head. There are 2 different techniques to do this, depending on which weapon you're using and your personal preference. The first technique, and this is the one that I'm going to generally recommend because it works pretty well for just about every weapon, is to unlock the Deadshot Daiquiri perk as soon as possible. In D Machine, this can be found in the weapon room, and on Firebase Z, you're going to have to get it from the Wonder Fizz machine right next to the Pack-a-Punch machine. The first technique is going to abuse the aim assist system, and all you're going to do is aim in and out rapidly while you're pulling the trigger. Every time you ADS, because of Deadshot Daiquiri, your crosshairs are going to recenter for a headshot, and if you just keep doing this fast enough, you're going to land lots of critical kills very quickly for most of the weapons in the game. The second technique also makes use of Deadshot Daiquiri, but it's not quite as critical. For the second technique, you're just going to walk backward and hip fire at your zombie train, hoping for as many headshots as possible. The reason you want Deadshot Daiquiri for this, and you want the upgraded version of Deadshot Daiquiri, is that it's going to tighten your hipfire spread. It also helps quite a bit if you're using one of the laser sights on your weapon in order to minimize your hipfire spread. That's going to give you the best possible accuracy and result in as many headshots as possible. While we're talking about weapon attachments, let's talk about a few of my favorites for pretty much all the weapons in the game. First off, I like increased armor damage, especially on Firebase Z, because those armored enemies are going to show up sooner on that map. If you're on D Machine, that's not quite as important because the armored enemies don't start spawning until wave 20. So if you want, you can go for something that increases the equipment drops. One attachment that you definitely want on your weapon is something to increase your salvage drop. I did some testing on how the various attachments impact the salvage drop, and yes, it's true, you actually do get increased salvage drop rates for these different attachments, and in general I would recommend using the highest level attachment that you have unlocked. While we're talking about attachments, I should also mention weapon levels. You need to have your weapon leveled up to 50 for any of your primaries and 30 for any of your secondaries in order to unlock all of the challenges. The most time-consuming challenge though is the critical hits and then the Pack-a-Punch. So really, as long as you level your weapon up to about 20 or 30, it should be good enough to use in zombies. You're also going to want to use either a fast mag or an extended mag, or the hybrid mag that gives you kind of the best of both worlds at the cost of ADS time. This is going to let you kill as many zombies as possible from your train as quickly as possible, and that's definitely what you want to be doing here. One mistake that a lot of new Zombies players make is they don't realize that there are only a certain maximum number of zombies that can be spawned in at once, and they'll turn around and they'll kill 1 or 2 zombies, then they'll turn back and they'll run, and those 1 or 2 zombies are going to spawn right in front of them. You don't want to be playing that way for the most part. For the most part, what you want to do is turn around, take out your entire train as quickly as possible, and then collect a new train. Skipping around a little bit back to the salvage, the reason you want to collect that salvage is so that you can upgrade your weapon. In Black Ops Cold War Zombies, weapons have different tiers, and the higher tier weapons do more damage. Whatever your starting weapon is, it's going to start off as red, which is the lowest tier. The next highest tier up is green, and then blue, purple, and finally gold. When you kill zombies, they're going to drop these little green and sometimes blue salvage parts. The green salvage is typical salvage, it drops in stacks of 50. The blue salvage is rare salvage, and it drops in stacks of 10. To upgrade your weapon, you're going to have to go to the armory, and it's going to cost 500 green salvage to upgrade from red to green. Upgrading from green to blue is going to cost you 1000 green salvage. And then to go from blue to purple, that's going to cost 500 blue salvage, and from purple to gold is going to cost you 1000 blue salvage. This is an awful lot of salvage, and it's going to take you probably till about round 25 or round 30 before you get enough to upgrade it to purple or gold. But once you do, you're going to have the benefits of more damage. The other way to get the most damage on your gun as quickly as possible is to Pack-a-Punch as early as possible, which I'd highly recommend because one of our camo challenges is to get 2500 Pack-a-Punch kills. And as long as you're going for headshots and getting that 115 bonus points instead of the 90 base points for each zombie elimination, you should have plenty to Pack-a-Punch your weapon And I would make it a priority to Pack-a-Punch and get that Deadshot Daiquiri as early as possible. You should be able to get both of those done by about round 10 on either of the maps. And once you get Pack-a-Punched and you've got at least a blue level gun, you should be good till around 15 or 20 depending on the weapon. Around this time you're going to be wanting to go around, gather other perks. Definitely stay away from this pink perk. This I believe is a new perk this year. This is called Elemental Pop. And what that's going to do is that's going to apply a random ammo mod to your weapons, and you just want to stay away from that because these ammo mods are going to take kills away from you. Any zombies that you kill with ammo mods do not count toward your camo challenges, so I would definitely stay away from all those ammo mods. You also don't want to be getting kills by punching zombies with your gun because those don't count either. Another thing to stay away from would be any kind of lethal grenade, so that's Semtex, frag grenade, C4, Molotov, things like that. The tactical grenades are still great. For instance, you can stun some zombies with a stun grenade and then still get kills with your gun. That's going to count towards your camo challenges. Decoy's pretty good. It's a little bit buggy sometimes, so I wouldn't count on it to save your life. Definitely keep a stun grenade around for that. I'd also generally steer clear of that monkey bomb because it is going to detonate and kill all the zombies in the area. And while we're talking about tactical equipment, do keep in mind that you have to use stun grenades, decoys, or monkey bombs in order to finish the knife camos. All of these can be crafted at the various armory tables around the map, or you can just pick them up off of dead zombies. If you are a PlayStation player, you also have access to an exclusive zombies mode called Onslaught. I played this a little bit just to kind of gauge whether it's better than the other maps or worse than the other maps or about the same. And honestly, I think Onslaught is worse than the other maps just because you cannot pack-a-punch your weapon. That's not to say that Onslaught is completely useless though. It's pretty good for getting elite eliminations if you need that, but I still think Firebase Z is better than Onslaught mode for elite eliminations, and in general, I would not recommend playing Onslaught mode if you're trying to unlock weapon camo. At the very beginning of Season 1, there was a zombies mode where the zombies would sometimes drop packages and you would get a naughty or nice. This was kind of fun, kind of interesting. It was a good way to get lower level weapons, just kind of at random, but in general, this mode wasn't great either. The one zombies mode that was a limited time mode that was very good for unlocking camos was Cranked. And the reason Cranked was so good is that you didn't have a big delay in between waves, and you couldn't have 20 or 30 seconds to have everyone on your team run and buy armor and perks and pack-a-punch their guns in between rounds. So Cranked was a great mode. If that comes back, I would strongly recommend playing that to unlock some of these weapon camos. And Cranked was kind of like playing zombies on hard difficulty. And speaking of playing zombies on hard difficulty, that takes me to the last way that you can unlock these camos. Some people might call it a glitch, some call it playing zombies on hard mode. But if you have a second account, and I'm pretty sure this works for split screen as well, if you have a second account just idle in the game, you will get more zombies spawning in your game. And if one of those players isn't actively killing the zombies, then the player who is killing the zombies obviously is going to be killing a lot more zombies a lot faster. Keep in mind though, if you choose to do this, you are going to be dealing with a lot more zombies every round, and that's just going to make the game that much more difficult. In general, I think the best way to earn a gold weapon camo in zombies is to just play a couple of games of zombies for about an hour, hour and a half each. That should take you into about round 25 or 30, which is high enough rounds for most of these guns. You don't want to be using them past that. And after about 2 games, if you go for headshots for both games, you should unlock the gold camo. Once you unlock the gold camo for every weapon in that weapon class, you're going to get diamond, and once you get diamond for every single weapon class in the game, you're going to unlock Dark Aether. And if this guide helped you at all in doing that, I'd appreciate you dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on my future uploads. Speaking of uploads, I've got a couple of those on the screen right now for you to check out if you're interested, and as always, thank you very much for watching.